All right, back at it again with another one. Yeah, I'm sorry I missed episode 3 with a review. I seen the episode, but I was going to review it, but I just decided not to. So we're going to just keep this thing going on with part 4. Episode 4, House of the Dragon, season 2, episode 4. First and foremost, we have a new addition to the tapestry. We have young Jacary's getting his neck cut off and the execution of Cheese, with the hanging. So I thought that was pretty cool. I wonder what they're gonna have next week because okay, let's get into the review. Yeah, because yeah. But anyway, thank you guys for supporting my shorts. I've been pumping them out there, and for you guys saying that I'm putting a bunch of spoilers out there, I guess I will label the shorts as spoilers because I mean they're not really spoilers because the book's been out for a long time and I'm just talking about the books. I'm not talking about the show, so I had quite a few people, comment about spoilers. So I will start labeling my stuff as spoilers before we go in. But I like to thank you guys for subscribing and watching. It means a lot. I work really hard on those things. So thank you for that. But anyway, let's go to the first scene. We got my boy Damon Targaryen hallucinating. He sees Rhaenyra as a young girl on the Iron Throne, kind of taunting him, and he loses his shit, cut her head off, as in Damon fashion. And once he wakes up, her head rolls on the floor like there's a raven, and he wakes up and here's Mr. Strong. I can't call him Lord Strong because that's Larys Castle. So I'm gonna just call him Mr. Strong. I can't remember his name. It bothers me. But he's the castellan of the strong of Harrenhal, the strong residence, the strong house. So he wakes him up, uh, takes him to the little dining room area. He meets with young Oscar Tully. Okay, I don't know where the show is going with this because Grover Tully is the head of the house. He's sick, which, that makes sense because also in the books, he's sick. But it's his son that's like taking up his banner. Well, his son's not really taking up his banner, but his son is kind of ruling in his stead. But his son name is Elmo Tully. The grandfather name is Grover. The son name is Elmo. I'm talking about the books. The son name is Elmo, and then they have another son named Kermit. He's the older son, and Oscar is Kermit's younger brother. So it looks like they're cutting out Elmo and they're cutting out Kermit, and we're going with Oscar. Now, in the books, it's way different. Oscar, he's not in line to inherit House Tully, River Run. He's not. But on the show, he's is. So I guess we're gonna see where the show is going with this stuff. But I thought that was interesting to bring those guys in. Next, we go to the shipyard. We have Rhaenyra. She comes face to face with Alan, and she sees him. She's intrigued by him and everything because she lets Colas knows like I know who he is. Now, for you who read the books, you know what time it is. You know what's going on. You know who Alan is and everything. You know, but for you people that don't read the books and just go off of the show, I'm gonna leave it alone and I'm not gonna just say too much because I don't want to spoil this for you guys. But it's a reason why she told Corliss she know who the guy is, and it seemed like she was okay with it. So Hopefully, I'm not giving too much by saying that. She come to tell Corliss that Bayla has called us to a council meeting. Corliss is looking like, huh? Bayla? Because the last episode, Bayla seen movements from House Green, their army, with Christian Cole. The scene where she seen them and she swooped down and the guys ran into the woods and everything. So she calls those guys for. I guess she's calling those guys to council. So that's what she came to tell Corliss. Next, we got Maester Orwell bringing Alicent some, what do they call it? Moon tea, I guess. I don't know. But she's taking a little drink to do some, she's trying to deport the mission. Unfortunately, Christian Cole, I guess, got her pregnant, and she can't be walking around pregnant like you're the Dowager Queen, your husband died, you're pregnant, by who? So it's going to be a lot of trouble with that. So, she has to abort the mission, as a lack for a better words. Then she asks Orwell, hey, did my husband ever talk to you about Aegon being his heir? And Orwell, he kept it real. He's like, no, ma'am, not that I know of. So it's kind of confirming the fact that Rhaenyra was right. You know, Viserys was talking about the Song of Ice and Fire, and Allison misinterpreted. And it's like she's coming to realization to see that she misinterpreted that. But I mean, she's not gonna like fess up to it. I mean, hey, you killed one of her kids, she killed your grandchild, so it's like, you know, it's not gonna stop. It's the the wheels of war is moving, so it's not going to stop. Next, we at the Blacks Council meeting. It's a bit unorganized. The guy, all the lords and everybody are turning on each other, and not having a lot of faith in each other, and kind of, I guess, struggling for power. With Rhaenyra being gone, so it leaves all these questions like, what are we doing now? When are we gonna do this? Rhaenyra is gone. Daemon is gone. Who's going to lead us? And then step in Corliss. He come in and you know attains order. He attains order. Everybody, obviously all the lords respect Corliss to a degree to where they just like, oh my lord, and everybody sits down and listen to what he has to say. Which I find that pretty cool. Yeah, I do. Next, we got Cole, Christian Cole, or a lot of people like to call him Krispy Kreme, but it's Christian Cole. He's taking over Duskendale. No, House Darkland. I'm sorry. He's taking over House Darkland. Um, yeah, he's taking over House Darkland. The ones who want to join him, he lets them live. The ones who don't want to join him, he beheads them. I'm thinking he's talking to the head of Darkland. He's staying loyal, and he call him like Kingmaker. You're not fit to wear the white cloak, and he spit at him, and then Christian cuts his head off. And I must say, he did a good job cutting his head off because I seen a couple of guys in the Game of Thrones try to do an execution and cut somebody's head off, and it took them like 3 or 4 swipes, but Christian Cole had one fluid motion, did it, got it done. You know, that's how you do it. But yeah, so he has another house to add to his army. So I think he has House Stokeworth. Now he has Darkland, and what's the other house he have? I can't remember the other house right now. Forgive me, but I know he has like three of them. It's like as he's advancing with his army is just getting bigger and bigger because he's adding more houses to his host, basically. And then after that, he gets a message. I'm assuming the message is from Amond, suggesting him to move to Rook Rest, that he's going to accompany him on the dragon. So, and Sir Gawain was like, "Hey, why are we going there? We need to be going to Heron Hall." He's like, "No, we're going to Rook's Rest." So they're heading there, and then back to King Landing at the Greens meeting. At the Greens meeting, nobody's really taking Aegon seriously. He's saying these different things. We need to do this. We need to do that. Nobody's really paying attention to him. They just don't take the guy seriously. And his brother, cuts him off, and he starts, telling his plans. And his brother, Aegon, questioned his brother, and then he started talking in High Valyrian, kind of scolding him in a way. And obviously, Aemon's High Valyrian is way better than Aegon's High Valyrian. And, he kind of makes him feel inferior, and he ends up going along with Aemon's plan. And then he finds out that Aemon is secretly talking to Christian Cole. So they sending messages to each other about the movements. And Aemon, at first he wanted to go to Heron Hall, but Aemon talks him into going to Rook's Rest because one of Rhaenyra's loyalists or members of her council resides at Rook's Rest. So it'll send a message. And besides, it's an easy victory because the council is small. They have a skeleton force there, so it should be easy. So, boom, they're doing that. And after the meeting, Loras goes into Alicent Chambers, and he goes in there to talk to her. He noticed the moon tea sitting on the table. She didn't even put it up. Like, why would you leave that there? You know what it is. He's seen it, and Loras knows more than what he lets on to know because he makes little comments. So I know he knows, and he's a very, very cunning guy. Like, Loras is like one of my favorite characters. Like, he, I think I said this many, many times. He is like Littlefinger plus Lord Varys mixed together times 10. Like, the guy is cunning. Like, there's nobody as cunning as Lord Loras Strong. Like, hands down, the most. Like, if you were to go on one of these YouTube channels where they do the rankings of each character, like the smartest character, the most honorable character, and this Lord Lord should be on the top of everybody's list as far as the most cunningest character. He is so smart. Like, you're gonna see how smart he is, especially if you read the books. You guys know, like, that guy is the puppet master. But anyway, he pretty much knows about Alicent's situation, and then they sit there, they discuss the movements of the army, and he asks her like slight questions to make her tell on itself. So he was like, he brought up Christian Cole, and she was like, "Oh yes, I hope he returns safely." And he says little stuff, I guess to let us know that he knows. And then he questioned Aegon's cause, like, Viserys had a peaceful time when he reigned. So why would he do that and jeopardize peace when he's leaving? Like, that's like un unlikely of him to do that. And Alicent is still sticking to her story. Even though she's having doubts, she's sticking to her story. So, hey, we'll just leave it at that. Next, we're back to Damon. He's having hallucinations again. You know, it's something about being in Harrod Hall, or either Alice Rivers is bewitching him or something. But anyway, he having hallucinations. He sees a Targaryen walking around, can't see his face. He walks, he pull out his sword, follows the guy, and once he follows the guy, he turn him around and he see himself in Aemon. He sees himself with an eye patch, like Aemon. But yeah, so Alice Rivers kind of wake him up like, "Hey, what you're gonna go around slaying people in this castle?" Kind of joking with him, being coy with him or whatever, while she's making the juice. And I'm not gonna lie, it looks nasty. She's squeezing and smashing stuff, licking her fingers, and then still fixing the juice. Like, I wouldn't drink that, like, for that alone. And then on top of that, like, she's a shady character. Why would you drink that? Like, that's crazy. But hopefully it'll work out for the best. Hopefully it'll help him out. But anyway, yeah, introducing Alice Rivers. She's a bastard of House Strong, and the people call her in the books. She's a bastard of House Strong, allegedly. She's like 40 years old, but she looks young. She's a wet nurse, and the people accuses her of being a witch. That's in the books, but on here, seems like she's just, I don't know, just somebody just that's around. Like, I don't really know her occupation within this castle, but she's a river, so therefore she's a bastard. The whole thing with the bastards. You know how they feel about bastards on there. So anyway, they have like a little quirky back and forth, and you know Damon is not feeling her kind of, so whatever. So she gives him the drink. He drinks it, and once he puts it down, you have Samuel Blackwood talking to him. He's like, "Who are you?" He introduces himself, and he's like, "Okay, so are you guys going to join us, the Blackwoods?" Yeah. Are you just doing it so you won't be beefing with the Brackens? Because I think that's the only reason why you're doing it. But he said he's loyal. He even fought for Queen Rhaenyra when she was younger. Before she was like married to Lenore. Um, she was going around looking for a husband, and he was one of the guys, trying to be her husband like years ago. I'm kind of thinking he was the little guy, the little Bracken that wounded the other Bracken when they was at Storm's End, and the older guy kept insulting him, and he pulled out his sword, and they was fighting, and he ended up winning. I think that's the same one, if I'm not mistaken. Because he doesn't look as old as Rhaenyra, because he shouldn't be, because she was like a teenager, he was like a kid. So that's that. But anyway, Damon is still having hallucinations, and he sees his ex-wife, um, Lena, serving the drinks and stuff. It's like, I think he's having these hallucinations because he's starting to feel guilty about things he did, or something. But this is an interesting character arc for Damon. Within this show, very interesting. Next, we got the Green Council. The guys are talking about movements, talking about food, for the army and those type of things. And Aegon is there. He's just spinning the little ball, the little placeholder ball, to know that they're there at their spot at the table. And he just get tired. He was like, "You guys bore me," uh, and then walks off. And then you wonder why nobody respects you. But anyway, yeah, he does that, and then he walks off or whatever, like a brat or whatnot. He went in there. He see his mom going through his things because she's looking for his father old books, and he's like, "I got rid of those things." She's like, "There's a lot of knowledge in that. I didn't burn them. I'm telling you, I just got moved them." And then he started talking to her, and she you know complaining about his position and stuff, and She was like, what, complaining about his council members, and she's like, you need to listen to your council members, listen to me, listen to all this, and then maybe you'll be half of the king that your dad was. And then he was said, tread lightly. Then she was like, or what? She doesn't take him seriously. You know. Then he asks her what he should do, and she's all like, nothing. Do absolutely nothing. Which is right because he doesn't know what he's doing. Like he's not even fooling himself at this point. So that's that. And then yeah, we have Cole preparing for his siege on Rook's Rest, and Gawain Hightower is like, hey, don't you know they have dragons right across the bay? And like if we were to attack, dragons would like be here like really, really fast. Like, why are you trying to do this? And Christian Cole, he got secret plans. Aegon, not Aegon, Aemon is supposed to meet him and have a surprise attack or whatever, just in case the other guy's dragons come. So they setting up for the siege. Then we go to Dragonstone where Rhaenyra returns to the Blacks. Um, she returns to the Blacks. Everybody's like, where you been? Jacaerys is being very, very stern with his mom. Like, where have you been? We're doing this, we're doing that. Where have you been? She told her that she did that stupid move going to see Allison in King's Landing dressed as a scepter. Like, that was dumb. Like, okay, let me take my time. I don't want to like say the wrong thing. That was the most silliest form of writing that this show. That did not make any sense for her to do that. Like seriously, like what are we doing here? Like, come on. You the writers of the show, y'all could have did something better than that. Like, come on. It just that didn't make any logical sense. And then this woman is your enemy. She's responsible for killing your grandkids, and you're gonna tell her like, "Oh, watch yourself when leaving." Like, you should have screamed or something like, "Hey, she's in here, get her," so the war can be over. This woman is at war with your kids. Like, come on, like Allison, L, Rhaenyra, L for that scene in episode 3 when Rhaenyra went to King's Landing to meet up with Allison. Stupid. There, I said it. Stupid. But anyway, Rhaenyra, she confirms that, yeah, we're going to war. I was trying to sue for peace. I inherited a peaceful kingdom from my father. I didn't want to throw that away, but there is no choice. We have war. So they're hearing about Rook's Rest. So she's like, okay, well, I'm the queen. I'm gonna go aid the men at Rook Rest. Nope. Rhaenys said, no, I will do it. I should go. She has the most experience. She has the biggest dragon on the Blacks. So she was like, I will do it. And then we go back to King's Landing with Aegon. He's sitting there thinking, he's pissed off, his thoughts are getting the worst. I'm like, I will show them. So he suits up, goes to the dragon pit, meets up with Sunfire, and I kind of like their little, I guess, reunion when Sunfire like kind of nuds him on the chest, and it seems like Sunfire is the only one happy to see him at this point. Like, I thought that was a real cool, like, to show the relationship between the dragon riders and the dragons. Like, all of them have different relationships. Like, all of them are pretty nice to their dragons, but I thought that was real cool because Sunfire seemed like a real playful dragon. I thought that was cool. So he decided to, join the fight. And then we cut back to Dragonstone where Rhaenyra tells Jace about the song in Ice and Fire. Okay, the song in Ice and Fire is something that the monarch passed to their heir, telling them about Aegon's dream. If you don't know who Aegon is, Aegon the Conqueror. Not this Aegon. This Aegon on this show is Aegon the Second. The original Aegon is Aegon the Conqueror. the one who took over Westeros and became the first king. That's Aegon the Conqueror. He had a dream of ice and fire, I guess, leading up to the White Walkers and stuff, and that's why he like passed on that knowledge from generation to generation, and now she's passing it on to Jace. That's what that was. Now we have the Battle of Rook Rest. Christian Cole, those they are advancing on everybody at Rook's Rest. Rook Rest is a small castle. They don't have a lot of men in their garrison. Chris Cole, uh, Christian Cole has the superior numbers, has the multiple houses, has the siege equipment. They're sieging, and then here comes Rhaenys and Meleys. They come in, you know, splurging fire on Christian Cole. You know, they getting scared, but Christian, he's confident in that moment because he know it's a trap. So he set the alarm. They blow the horn for Aemon and Vagar. You know, they're like miles and miles away. You know, waiting for the alarm. He gets ready to go, but he sees his brother like flying ahead. He's like, and he's like, okay, wait, Vagar. So he let his brother go. His brother, he encounters Rhaenys. You know, they're fighting. I think Rhaenys, she's getting the best of his dragon. And, you know, they're locked in. And then here comes Aemon and Vagar. He sees them, spits the fire on both of them. I mean, I don't understand why he would do that and hurt his brother. Maybe he did it on purpose, maybe not. But boom, he hit him with a fireball. Um, Aegon take the brunt of it. His dragon is falling out the sky. Rhaenyra, she kind of turns away. And this part is really, really cool. When Rhaenyra turns away, and then she turns her dragon to go back into the fray. That's straight from the books. That is straight from the books. Because in the books, they was like, when she should have yelled, she chose to go ahead and fight. That was pretty cool because that moment there was from the books. I was like, yeah, go Rhaenyra, go Rhaenyra. So she turns back around to encounter Vagar again, but you know, Vagar, I think they have like a little small scrap getaway. You know, Vagar ends up on the ground, kind of getting in position behind the castle. She swoops around to survey the field because she's kind of looking for Vagar. She's looking up, she's looking around, she doesn't see him, and then she's flying over the castle. Vagar, got her. You know, kind of the same way he got Lucerys in season 1. Seems like Vagar, she's like a hunter. You know, when it comes to other dragons, she hunts them. Like she hides and then she, you know, gets them. So that's what she did. You know, kind of like, you know, kind of like a tiger or a lion. You know, they kind of stalk their prey, hide, and then strike. You know, like a snake kind of. But anyway, she gets the best of Meleys, clamp around her neck. You see Meleys' eyes close, and you know, Rainey, she kind of knew that it was over at that point. So Meleys dying, she's falling down, splat on top of Rook's Rest. And you know, after that, we go back to Christian. He's on the ground, you know, looking around like, wow, you know. I think Christian Cole kind of bit off more than he can chew. He used to like battles and wars and stuff, but he's not used to fighting with dragons, and he's seen fighting with dragons is a whole different animal. Like, you know, it's just more going on, you know, like it's more carnage and chaos. You know, you got people scared, you know, and it's just a different story with dragons. So I thought that was pretty cool. So he's looking for Aegon, and he gets to Aegon, and Aemon is there first. It looks like Aemon was like pulling out his sword, but I don't think he was going to kill his brother because he's like, Aemon, and he kind of sheaths his sword, picks up the dagger, the zombie buster dagger. For those who you watch Game of Thrones, y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, he seen that and he asked him, "Is he? Where's the king?" Aemon points over there and walks off like he doesn't care. So all in all, this episode it was really good. I enjoyed this episode. It was a lot of action, a lot of build up. Um, I say for the accuracy with the books, I say so far this season has been like 75% accurate with the books. I will say that. But in all, a good episode. Yeah. Sorry about last week. Hey, hit me up in the comments if you want me to do a review on episode 3. I will do it, but as of now, like I'm not gonna do it. You notice I'm in a hotel room. I'm out of town for business. For my job. I got some stuff to take care of, so I'm out here. So I was like, hey, I'll bring my laptop and make a video. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Um, Catch me in the next video. Peace.